All right, students, when you get ready to look for the rear leg muscles, when you first look at the rear, it's going to look like just one piece. But again, you're always going to want to look for the lines. I saw a line here, so I went ahead and took lightly my scalpel. You're going to want to look for the lines, and you're going to want to get underneath, especially on the leg muscles. You're going to want to get underneath that muscle. And when you do that, and you go around to the front and you feel where it begins and it ends, you're going to start to identify the muscles of the leg. So the one that I just went under, I don't know if you guys remember, but there's a muscle over here at the corner called tensor fascia latae. That may or may not be it, but it also might be the muscle on the front of the leg that you're going to need later, which covers this whole front of the leg, and that's called the sartorius. And once you get the sartorius identified and reflected back, which is what I did here on this side. This is the sartorius muscle on the upper part of the leg, and I cut it and reflected it back. Once you cut it and reflect it back, you're going to be able to see the ones underneath it, and we'll go over those later. But as you're looking, what you want to do is look for lines and then gently work with your hands first, and also sometimes your scalpel. Begin to separate these and locate the muscles as you see them on your handout, on your book. So once you do that, you're going to start to see all kinds of things as you go through it. For instance, here, starting out where you know your obliques are, I went ahead and isolated my tensor fascia latae muscle, and I cut it because this whole piece of fascia and reflected it back. And if you follow the tensor fascia latae all the way up, you have to dig a little bit here as well to find the gluteus medius, and then right next to it, very thin and delicate, is the gluteus maximus. This large muscle here that makes up a good portion of the back of the leg for the cat is the biceps femoris. Of course, you remember from the human, you have the gastrocnemius here, which is the calf muscle. And then to find the caudofemoralis, which is this one here, you'll notice usually it's stuck to the back of the biceps femoris, and you have to peel it loose. It's a thin little muscle. So we end up with the gluteus medius, the gluteus maximus, the caudofemoralis, the biceps femoris, the gastrocnemius, and of course here, tensor fascia latae, which brings you around to the front of the leg, which I'll do in the next segment.